Well, good day, folks. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, me, still in the shop again, working on projects. Now, if you recall the video I did on the weekend for that knife haul that I got from that out of the way pawn shop, you'll remember that started out with some axe heads. And one of the axe heads, and maybe we'll sneak a little picture here, was an old hewing axe. Now, I picked that up because I wanted a hewing axe, and I figured, why not buy an old one and restore it rather than buying a new one? So I've done that, but during the process, I discovered I had maybe a bit of a special little axe head here, because I was able to reveal a tank stamp. And in hindsight, it's 2020 and all, I had to remove a lot of rust, but I had to get into the patina too and remove that. And I just thought I was fixing up an old axe to use. Then I revealed a tank stamp by doing that. And then I did some research. So, right quick, here's the axe head cleaned up. And initially, all I could see was this arrow and a little bit of whatever that mark means. But as I cleaned deeper, I revealed this. And it says Josiah Fowler Company Limited, St. John, New Brunswick. So I did a little research into who Josiah Fowler was. And I found this information too at the Davistown Museum website. I'll put a link below for that so you can check it out yourself. Now, St. John, New Brunswick borders Maine. Well, Josiah Fowler, he was heavily involved in the shipbuilding industry. And St. John at that time was heavily involved in shipbuilding. They produced somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 plus wooden ships. But he opened his shop in 1860 and operated in one way or another until 1922. So I'll put here a little snippet from the website. And he was one of several blacksmith families that were United Empire Loyalists that moved into Canada, I guess, during the time of the Civil War, or the War of Independence. He was also, which is interesting, I actually had a picture of him. He was a bugler in the Civil War. And if you scroll down through the page, there are several letters, copies of letters that he wrote while he was serving the Civil War. So I guess I had quite an interesting little piece. I mean, I've researched, looked, I can't find much information on dating tank stamps. So I don't know if there were different tank stamps for different periods or not. But Josiah Fowler and his family were well known for their edge tools used in shipbuilding, both when he was in the US and after he came to Canada. So I thought that was pretty neat. So I proceeded with restoring the axe. And if you remember, it had a big clunky axe handle on it that was obviously cut down from a larger axe. I was going to go and buy a new handle, and I thought, you know what, why not repurpose this handle? So I'll throw up some videos here. I basically took a rasp and I reshaped the handle to suit the smaller axe head, and just something a little more comfortable for one-handed use. You can see in the videos I just basically used a rasp just to hog off as much wood as I could, and then moved to sandpaper to sand it down, smooth it out. You can still see some of the rasp marks in it, but I don't mind that. It reminds me of the work I did. It's an old handle, it's got some cracks in it, but I think it's going to be solid. If it doesn't work out, if it's not solid, then I'll buy a new handle for it. But it fits much nicer into one hand now. So I used a rasp to hog off the wood, sanded it down, treated it with some boiled linseed oil, drove a lanyard hole, put a little hanging lanyard on it. And wrapped a little leather here. Stuck a little JB weld in the top just to seal the top. Now, some of you might be asking, what is a hewing axe? And why was it something common in the shipbuilding industry? I mean, I'm no historian, but a hewing axe is basically an axe for, you can think of it kind of like a handheld big planer. It's for squaring off timber, and I'll put up a little video here of me giving an example of that. So basically, it would square a timber. You could square a timber for simply for packing for shipping to make it rather than logs. You know, you can square the timbers off, but more so in building, shipbuilding, and carpentry. And it can also be used just to, if you have, say, half a log you split and you want to flatten the inner surface, then you can use the hewing axe for that. And I'll give you a little example here. So I like how it turned out with the materials I had at hand. I was pleased to be able to repurpose the handle instead of buying a new one. And now I've got myself a handy little hewing axe with a whole lot of great history behind it. Hopefully I can find out a little bit more. But I'd like to know what that 1/L means. Perhaps somebody in the with more knowledge of forestry and whatnot can tell me that. But Josiah Fowler Company Limited, St. John, New Brunswick. It would be nice to find out a manufacturing date on this. I did put a nice clean edge on it. It has some chips out of the edge, so I had to deal with that, but she's got a nice sharp edge now. But there we have it. One restored hewing axe, ready to go to work again. And I should have pointed out how the hewing axe works is that it is flat on one side and you have a chiseled edge on it. See that? So it's only sharpened down this one side. And that allows it to lay flat against the piece of wood that you want to square off or plane or whatever. So, anyhow, folks, we will leave it at that. And next project, well, next axe-related project will be this one, the double bit. I've already started on that, just getting some of the rust off. The only mark I found on this one is right here, and doesn't really speak to me very much. I don't know if that's some remnants of lettering, this bit here, maybe a little bit here, or if that was some form of a maker's mark. I don't know. With any luck, I'll find out. That'll be the next axe project, but we'll probably get to a knife before that because I've got a whole bunch of knives to restore. Anyhow, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and sunny and mildly kind of warm here. I like that. But get out, enjoy some time with the people you care about, and get out in the woods. It's a great place to just kind of decompress, relax, take in the sounds of nature, let that stress just melt away, and bring a knife or hatchet. Might just come in handy. Y'all take care.